Hey, what's up, folks? It's On the Road with J-Man. Today, I was going to show you guys how to clean a striper. I was out at Discovery Bay yesterday fishing for some bluegill, and there was a man out there fishing into the striper in that bay. He caught a couple, asked me if I wanted one in my coop. So he gave me one about 23 inches, something like that. So today, I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I'm probably going to go back fishing for them maybe tomorrow, but I got a striper in the meantime, and this is a nice legal, really nice one for dinner. So what you want to do basically is get a nice cutting board, and you want to put a towel or something underneath. That way it's stable and it won't move when you start slicing. You don't want the fish to move because it'll mess up the fillet, right? And then you want to have a nice knife too, and make sure your knife is sharp. I'm using the knives you can get. You can get them from Walmart, but they're really good quality knives. And this is the bigger one because I have the large, and then there's a smaller version that I have as well for my bluegill. And they're yeah, the Rapala, the Rapala knives. You can see this is the large and this is the small. I use this for bluegill and I use this for bigger fish. So the key is to make sure that they're sharp. They're very, very sharp. Okay. So we're gonna get this started. You don't have to gut them. I like to start right behind, and be careful when you're grabbing these striper too, because this edge of this gill has a very sharp point. That's how they go through schools of fish and they kill the fish. So you start right behind the gill here, and this pectoral fin here, and start your slice here under the scale, and then go all the way out, right? Okay. And what I like to do is I'll turn it around, and there's a little trick that I learned from. It's called. His name is Reed the Fishmonger. He puts the point of the tip right at the top of the dorsal fin, and he kind of slides it down flat. And I'm still trying to work on trying to get good at that, but you start at the top, and you just kind of make sure you're at the top of the dorsal fin here, and you just kind of slide. And that's why you want to make sure your knife is really sharp, because he just slides it all the way down like this. This is like one motion, like smooth, all the way down like that, right? And what I like to do is come across the bottom here, right at the front of this bottom fin in, and then I'll slice and go right down the spine. You can feel it, and you go right down the spine. Okay, and then you just work your way down that bone, right in front of the dorsal fin. And you work your way down the dorsal fin like this till you can hear that. Can you hear that? That means you're getting all of the meat there. You get it nice, and you don't miss any of the meat. And just work your way all the way down, and keep working. And with striper, you can go over the rib cage pretty good. So I just follow that rib cage that's right here, and then I go all the way over so there's no bones in it at all. Okay? And start right here. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp, and you go down the rib cage until you get all the way down, and then you get the fillet off here, slice it off here, and now you have a nice fillet. Okay, there's your fillet, and we can deskin that later if you want to, but there's no meat. You have all the meat off the bone here, and there's the rib cage there, so that's why I say you don't have to gut it. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Turn it around, go underneath the pectoral fin, and go all the way out like that. And then I'm going to do it the old school way now. I'm going to show you, instead of trying to go over the rib cage, I'm going to go through it and just go right down the spine and cut through the ribs, right? And just see what the difference is, because sometimes people like to cut through the rib cage, right? So I'm just going to go all the way down, just down the backbone. You're just going down the backbone until you get all the way out to the end, just like that. And now you have another fillet, but this one has the rib bones in it, right? So we'll separate it. And now this is just a carcass here. I'm going to use that for fertilizer. That's great fertilizer for your plant. So the next step is, and the reason why I left the ribs in this one is because sometimes you can cook them with the scales on them and the skin, They call it. It's all I think it's on the shell is what they call it. And you put this on the grill, you season the top of it, and you can cook it like that, and the skin will protect it from all of the flames and everything. But we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna take the rib cage out of here, and you start here, and it's a little harder to do this way, but you can do it. And you just go down, follow them around until you come all the way out to the bottom, and then you take the rib cage out this way. See, there's the rib cage there. There's all the ribs there. So you can do it from the back or you do it from the front. But you still get a boneless fillet. And then all you gotta do now is take the fillet, start at the back, and then get a little edge of it and start laying it flat. Lay your knife flat once you get started. Grab the end of it. And then you could just basically do a little sawing motion back and forth until you go all the way down. This is why I like the bigger knife, because it gets more of it, right? And I'll show you the difference in the striper as well too. Go all the way down until you get to the end of it, and you have your boneless, skinless fillet. Now with a striper, they have a bloodline. See this here? And this could be where it tastes a little fishy. So what you can do is you can clean that up, cut it off, you know what I mean? You can just kind of trim it and trim out some of the bloodline. It'll come off. You just got to be careful, take your time and clean up all that bloodline there. See how you can just kind of trim it like that? Okay, so this is what makes it taste fishy, and a lot of people don't like striper for that reason. But if you clean it off like that, then you can eliminate some of that taste. See, that's all. It's going to make it taste more fishy that way, right? You can also cut it down the middle and just cut away from it. Just cut around it like this. Right? Cut down the middle like that, and just cut it out if you want to. And you have a long strip like that, and you can trim it this way too. You know what I mean? You just all of the red right here, and that way when it cooks, it's going to cook out. Especially if you fry it, it's going to cook out. But a lot of people like to get rid of that, and that's what makes it. That's why people don't like striper as much. But once you cut one side of it, now you can cut the other side and get the rest of the bloodline off, and then you're not worried about it. But this piece is kind of thin, so we're just going to cut on the other side of it, all the way down here. And now you don't have as much, right? Cut that in half. It's a little thin piece, so you can fry that if you want to. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other piece, but that's how you fillet a striper, right? And you can cut this into strips, like the piece you get at Long John Silver's. You know, they're about this size, right? You bread that, flour that, fry that, and it'll be good. Same thing. I'm gonna do that on the other side here too. Fillet and this one got cut a little bit, but this is the first one I've done, so you know I'll get better, but I'm not gonna worry about it now. I'm gonna go down and fillet it all the way down like this. And if you want, you can you don't have to press all the way down. You can press halfway down, and that way you get the rest of it, right? And it's not as gamey. So we're gonna clean this up and get it going. I'm gonna cut this in half here, but this is how you clean a striper. So hey, if you're new to my channel, I'm Jay on The Real with Jay. Subscribe, follow, like, comment, let me know what you like to fish for, where you like to go fishing, what you like to catch, things like that. And you can go to YouTube on The Real with Jay Man on YouTube, and subscribe over there. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers by the end of summertime. And then what you want to do is you're going to get, just give me a little bit of support, help me out a little bit. And in the meantime, be safe out there and have a great and powerful day.